Hey everyone. Today I want to talk about something that's close to my heart, and that's just simply my concerns for us as humans. It's pretty good right now, especially if you live in America or the EU or Australia, parts of China. Good place so far to be. But we could do a lot. We have a lot of resources and a lot of opportunity. And soon we're going to be in charge. This isn't new. But it's beyond our collective health. Now, our health is super important, and that's definitely a huge center point of what I enjoy talking about is health and how you can work on that and make yourself healthy so that we can all contribute better. But beyond that is the generations that are going to come after us. And our current generation, we are unique because we saw the dawn of technology. A lot of us, if you're under, I'd say probably 27, that's all you've really known is technology. We started out and just exploded into what it is now. And so now everybody has a phone. Everyone has a phone. And anyone, anywhere can talk to anyone at any time. And that is pretty incredible. Who would have thought we would have gotten this far? But the big issue, my concern, is that we're growing so fast that it's just going to hit a wall and plummet, and we're going to lose it all very quickly. Now, we all know global warming is a thing. There's definitely things we can do about that. But I think a lot of us are detached, myself included in this. I think we're a little bit detached from what we can really do. We think, someone will take care of that. Someone will step in. There will be some company to take care of it. But I think we forget that we're all part of the same group. And we can all do more. Always. So what does that look like? How can we make a difference? It's a very big question, and I'm not sure I have the answers. But I think it's important to pose the question. Bigger than simply just leaving it to someone else or talking about it amongst a group of friends. Oh yeah, that needs to be changed. That we should work on that. The world's a big place, and it's getting better for a lot of people in a lot of places. More access to clean water, clean food sources. We're able to stop diseases all over the place. But we're growing so rapidly that things could collapse really fast. And that's my concern, is this collapse. And my concern isn't exactly for our generation. And it's not even really for the generation after us. But it's for our kids. We'll have our kids and that might be the end. I'm not trying to pull any kind of scare tactics, but I firmly believe that our generation and the generation after us, those are going to be the ones that determine the course of humanity. That's a pretty bold statement, and it sounds a little bit like, oh man, God complex type shit. No. Not worried about that kind of God complex type thing. More of just a reality. We're growing really fast, and population is going up real fast. And I think there's just way too many people out there who are not doing their part. So what does it mean to do your part? I guess first and foremost is take care of yourself. Be healthy. If you're healthy, then you can contribute better. That's really important. How else can you contribute? Well, the world's a dirty place. And a lot of people still litter. So maybe we could all pick up a little bit more trash. How else could we help? Well, bees are going down. How do we fix that? Well, they're largely dying due to chemicals that we're putting everywhere. And that's a big issue that a lot of us can't really touch because corporations have complete control over that. Now, I'm not trying to get political. I'm not saying, oh, we need to take down big corporations or capitalism is bad. I'm not going there. I'm just simply pointing out the fact that there's reasons that these things are happening, and who's gonna step in? And it can't be a single person, and it can't be a single group, and it can't be a single corporation, because it's not enough. There's a lot of people. I think it's important for us to band together and tackle the problem head first, diligently. Especially in America. And I say that because we have so much. So much. I read somewhere at some point in time that if you're above the poverty line in the United States of America, you're in the top 1% of the world. That's wild to think about. Because we do. We have so much potential to... I hesitate to use the word change here because I don't think the goal should be change. I think the goal should be better. Just better. Just being better to others, to the environment. And of course this requires innovation, ingenuity, and people to put things together. But it's a lot bigger than just some corporation taking care of it. And the sad part about this is we all get so caught up in our own lives. We got to pay our bills. Okay? We have to sleep. We have to have friends. We have to go do recreational things. We have a lot of mental requirements that need to be met. Setting aside, of course, physical requirements, which are very important. But all of these mental requirements, we get so wrapped up in them, and I think we forget that we're humans on a planet, and it happens to be very conducive for life, which is really great, but also a blessing and a curse. Evolution brought us to here, to humans, and that's fantastic. It's phenomenal. It's incredible. But we're also very destructive. We're also very self-centered. For instance, if you could characterize in your mind what the global state of humanity would be in terms of like some psychological position. So let me clarify that. If you took all the people in the world and mashed them into a single person, what would that person look like? What do you think that person would look like? Because I think that person would be self-centered. If I'm being brutally honest. I think that person would be self-centered. Of course, that person would absolutely have hints of doing good. It would be a very conflicted person. Let's put it that way. A very conflicted person. And I'm not trying to say that I think self-centered people dominate, because I don't think that's true. I don't think that self-centered people dominate. But what I do think is that as our existence relates to our environment, we take. And that's what I mean by self-centered. The other really rough part is that progress is slow. Things take time. But do they really? 60 years ago, we didn't have sophisticated computers. Didn't have a phone with a screen on it. $60 ago. There's so many things we didn't know 60 years ago. And when we learned about them, we exploited them, and we have this massive turnover. I think the single greatest example of this is the internet. As soon as that happened, everything changed. And that's my point. Is my generation, the generation behind this generation, our generation, I don't even know what generation I am. I mean, I do. I just don't know what it's called. I know what generation. I don't know what it's called. What are we calling the generation of people? Millennials, of course. Now I feel dumb. Now I feel really dumb. Anyway, millennials. We saw internet technology explode. So much potential. So how do we do more? Because we need to. It's rather urgent, I think.